Hi, folks, and welcome to Vintage Vikings because they both have V's in their names. Yeah. All right. So I'm Matt, and I want to thank my guest coming in. I want to thank, first off, the Retro Gamer who told me last minute that he was not coming on. Appreciate that. No, we love him, and I know he's busy and everything. And I gave this a little bit late notice. I was driving back. It was Mother's Day. I always had this in my mind saying, hey, I need to send this invite out, and I never got around to it because plans changed for me. At first, we weren't going to do any more for a while, but it turned out we could do one more. So I'd like to thank my guest, folks. There's a man who's been stuck on an island longer than Gilligan, and that's Bernardo on Tabletop Island. But it's the best island to be shipwrecked on.
True.
How do you get internet out on your island?
You know, Volcar just gets really good connection out here. I don't know.
His horns get the good signal to position him. That's awesome. And folks, you know the horror story of the burglar that's up in the attic, you know? He's calling the house the whole time. Do you know where your kids are? Well, we have our own little guy up in an attic and and by the way, it isn't even his house. He goes to other people's attics. This is the weirdest thing. Luke from down from the attic. Luke, how are you, man?
I'm good, yeah. I have to move all this around each time, though.
Brother, you are more than welcome to come to my attic anytime.
Yeah, but I'd end up leaving with things missing.
You would. I would take a lot of your stuff. You have some nice stuff. Okay, and then we have, of course, our celebrity guest here, Norm from the Board Game Museum, who has more subscribers than all of us put together. And he's kind of he keeps asking where his checks are in the mail because he appears on the show and he doesn't play for free.
Hey man, a nickel's a nickel, so I'll take it.
So I'm always happy to have Norm on. And then, folks, we have your pathway to the stars, the man who shows you celebrity locations of where movies were filmed. My wife won't watch a single one of his board game videos.
Oh no!
But she loves that you're going to those houses.
Jamie on scene episodes. I thought I'd throw those in there. Yeah.
Jamie on the scene is her dish, man. Especially when you went to Michael Myers' house, she was just shocked that it's an insurance place.
Yeah. It's actually an office now. Yeah.
Office, yeah. I told her, she went, is it? And then I love how you show a picture of the actual movie house or the movie with the house. And she goes, oh, I mean, so
that is it.
You know, it's just, if you could just tear off a piece of your shirt and mail it to us, we appreciate it. Since you're famous, famous properties will do, he says. But Jamie also has a channel called The Board Game Man. He has of course, a ton of nice board games in the back there, reviews vintage board games. One of the other things I do like I've already bragged about everyone's channel and why I like it since Jamie's new here. I'll tell you why I like Jamie's channel. He reviews a lot of games that I have not seen before. A few of us have not seen before. Also, you do a little playthrough as well, which is really nice. It's kind of, you don't explain the game, but then you do a little playthrough afterwards. So I do like that setup and everything. So check out Board Game Man on YouTube as well. Yeah, you're welcome. And as always, all four of these guys, well, three of them, maybe we'll exclude Norm, are way more talented than me.
Poor Norm.
Norm knows
he's used to it by now.
Norm, man, he's got it going on, man. He does
it because he loves you.
I don't want the Board Game Museum, rioters to come after me, so I'll just say Norm is the man.
Yeah, I got the Norman Army coming, so.
Yeah.
Norman Army. Well, we have some fantastic topics to talk about today. And one of the first topics we're going to talk about is the most you ever paid for a vintage game. There are some games we just had to get, and you can't get some of these games cheap. And sometimes you have to shell out a little bit of cheddar for them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this first one to Norm to tell me, Norm, was there a game that you broke your piggy bank a little bit over, but it was worth it? Or maybe it wasn't. Who knows?
I'm going to go with the game Dark Tower. I was going to get that game for probably a couple of years. And, it's one of those games, like if you go on eBay and you place a bid, most likely you're going to get outbid. Right. They ended up getting the game for about $130, but I had to get the tower fixed. and that cost like an extra $40. So I probably paid about $180 for that game, which is a good deal because typically the game when it comes complete costs about $250. So that's the most I paid. But yeah, it definitely is worth it if you're a collector. It's definitely worth it. Would I recommend the game to everybody? I would probably recommend everybody try out the app first because, it's a great game, but it may not blow everybody out of the water. And, it's kind of one of those games you either really like, or about. But that's how much I paid, was about $180.
That reminds me, we did a playthrough of Dark Tower, but I didn't see it come up on the channel.
Well, no, that's right. Yeah, because the camera, something went wrong with the camera. I think it was
that was the only game I won. I thought that was the reason you didn't post. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, I think we both lost actually, but
see, Norm's rewriting history here. I'm telling you, whenever I win, the video doesn't make the channel. I'm just pointing that out, folks. I didn't.
Well, you might have very well cheated again, so we don't know. So
I moved my pieces around the board. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so I'll go next. Mine is obviously. I should have gotten it. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. And Bernardo just spoke about it. It's Queen's Gambit. Paid a sweet $250 for this. It goes for about $400, $500, $600. It depends now. But at the time it was going for $300. I had played it at a buddy's house. I heard about the hype, but I never believed the hype. Never believed the hype about this game. I was like, it can't be that good. It's not worth $250, or it was going for $300 at the time. I said, it's not worth $300. So we played it. After we played it, I was like, oh my gosh. Well, I found this game and the guy was selling it for $250. I was like, well, that's $50 off. But I was like, still, that's a lot of money for a game. So I had to call my wife. And if you look at this 3D board. I mean, just look brilliant on the table. Yeah. It's a phenomenal game. Jeez. And to be honest, it's worth every dollar. It's worth every dollar. I absolutely love this game. I played every time we play it, we have a great time. Whoever plays it with me has a great time. Back when I had 6 people coming over for board game night, I would have a 2-player table. No one wanted to sit at the 2-player table. I'd force 2 people to sit at the 2-player table and play a few 2-player games, and they were missing out because the 4-player table was so much fun. And then I'd switch them back. We'd switch out. But the only time that people wanted to be at the 2-player table was when I put this out. There was a fight to get to the 2-player table. Everyone knew about this game. And they wanted, and they loved it. And they one time a guy didn't want to switch. He didn't want to switch out. He went, I want to play someone else. I said, you want to play the 2-player table all night? He went, yes. If this is the game, yes. I was like, okay. I mean, but I would too, because it's just such a phenomenal game. I got to play it again recently, and it just seems like every time I play it, the games just get even better. I don't know how that's possible, but you're playing in 3 different areas, and it's just so much fun. I love it, but did pay a pretty penny. Asked the missus before I got it, but she said, yeah, sure, go ahead. I was like, thank you. And it is just a great, great game. Absolutely love it. But yeah, I did shell out $250 for it, but it worth every dime. All right, so Bernardo, Bernardo's someone who on his channel, folks, he just brags about all these good deals you got. It's almost like he's giving you the finger every time he names the product, because he knows you're not for that amount. And so he's laughing, he's mocking you. So I want to hear about a time that Bernardo had to throw down some cash. What was the game?
Okay. So I'm not going to talk about that movie prop that you saw on our one podcast, but that's technically not a real board game, so I won't use that. But a physical board game that I paid for would be between Voice of the Mummy and this new Seance one. They both cost around the same. I'm pretty surprised this wasn't on your list, Norm, because I'm curious what you paid for it. But I got this fully kind of reworked, and I paid, it was $245. So $250 actually after everything. So $250 would be the most expensive game I own.
Yeah, I haven't got that game yet. I just have the Voice of the Mummy one.
Yeah. Did that one cost you a lot?
I paid about $70 for it, but the record player wasn't working. But what I did was I got the audio files and I got a Bluetooth speaker, and I found a program where I could use my phone. And it works. Gotcha. I can put the speaker underneath the record player, and it works well. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Luke, did you hear how Bernardo had to one up me again by saying that he also spent $250 as well? Just to make sure that I didn't spend the most.
You should have said you spent $251, Bernardo.
Well, you'd be glad I didn't say that movie, bro. I'm telling you, man, that would have really dropped some jaws. I think I would have had to leave after I said the price I spent on that.
Well, can I go ahead and say it? What you got?
Go ahead.
You got the is a replica?
Yeah, it's from some of the original creators' replica. Yes.
Jumanji, the board game from the movie,
carved out of wood and everything.
I showed that to my wife, and she was like, "I would play that game." I said, "Of course you'd play that game. It looks beautiful."
I know. Trying to get us out of this pandemic. We're on level 5 right
now. Did you jump into the game when you start playing it? Did gorillas start busting out of the living room? And
oh yeah, I'm still in the game. I'm just trying to do this stream.
I hate the remake. I'm sorry, but making it a video game. No, it's a board game. That's the magic of it. That's the charm of it. It was a board game.
That's fair. That's fair.
I get that they have to one up it. Now it's new. We have to talk about video games, but I like the old antiquated board game. Anyway,
I'd sooner take the new Jumanji movies over Zathura. Zathura was not a good film.
That's fair.
You know what? Again, I famously disagree with Luke. I saw Zathura for the first time just a couple of years ago because I never watched it because I thought it was a Jumanji ripoff, and I liked it.
I don't remember hating it, but I understand why he
playing Dark World when I was watching it too, so that may have been part of the issue.
Well, both films were written by the same author, but it's just the kids in that film. Like, it's just 90 minutes of kids screaming. And
to be fair, I need to watch the original Jumanji. It's because it's been longer since I've watched the original Jumanji, so you could be right. Okay, so Luke, what's the time that you put out some serious pounds, not pounds, for a game? And then you're going to have to give us the equivalent because we can't revert cash to pounds because we're Americans. But you guys,
I got y'all. I've been buying a lot from the UK. This conversion's getting good.
Okay, go for it, Luke.
I'm probably the outlier on this one because I'm the sort to play the long game with a game that I want. Like with me and buying games, it's only worth as much as I'm willing to pay for it. Like, I know the worth of certain games. So like at the moment I'm on the hunt for Treasure of the Pharaohs, which regularly goes for £150 to £200. And I look at the pieces in that, and it's just not worth that to me. I would happily pay maybe about 60, 70 for it. So I play the long game, and I get the games for what I feel is the price I should be paying for it. And I think the most I've paid for a game is round about £50, £60, honestly. And I think that probably was Tornado Rex, which even at that price is a damn good price. Like, the guy, I've been hunting for it for ages. I'd looked at other eBay auctions and they were like 150, 200, maybe 250. I'm like, it's not worth that. It's just not worth that amount of money, for what you're getting. And then I found this listing, and this lady had put it up at like £50 with £6 shipping. I'm like, this has got to be a mistake. Like, it was that sort of sort of eBay auction where you're constantly going back to it throughout the day and making sure no one else has bid on it. And no one had. And I got it for that price. And, you would say, well, that's still cheap. But that's the most I've spent on a board game because I'm willing to hunt around and wait for one to come up at a price that I'm willing to pay for.
Yeah, if it's too expensive, you just whisper in Bernardo's ear and he buys it for you.
The funny thing is, you're not wrong, actually, because he'll throw a game and be like, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I'm like, you got me. I already bought it. No, but basically he said that Matt spent too much money on cardboard board game and that I did a record player, so my price is fine.
There you go. There you go. You're right. By the way, Luke, I just noticed this. Man, that jacket and shirt, you look like a rock star.
I used to do properly alt scene. Yeah, it's studied this. I've had this for years.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving that look. Norm, are you taking notes?
Oh yeah, I need to upgrade my wardrobe for sure.
Oh man.
Talk about upgrade your wardrobe. I've never seen this guy in nothing else but this shirt.
I got 7 copies of it. I do.
Wow. Because I was wondering, because the boys were asking me, because we watch, of course, y'all's channel, and they asked me, said, does he always wear that shirt? I went, always. Every time I see him, that's his shirt. So I was like, well, at first we thought we were going to Dallas this year, and he said, so I said, we'll see, because I'm going to see if he can catch him without wearing the shirt. Like, he's got to not be wearing the shirt one day. Like, I'm going to bust up in his hotel room, go, aha!
I'm going to be sleeping with it. You're going to pull the sheet off, and it's going to be like, what? It's still there.
It's like his closet looks like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, except without the cardigan sweaters. It's just that, Hawaiian shirt.
Hey, it does get cold on the island, so that might be the next investment.
Maybe so. But anyway, all right, Jamie. All right, rookie.
All right, a rookie.
You better deliver. Don't tell me $5 or you're getting booted.
I know, close to it, but not quite. Definitely not $250. That's for sure. But like I say, I've only been collecting since September.
Okay.
So it's about 8 months worth behind me here. And in fact, I didn't even reach 50. It was about $48 on eBay. It's one of our favorite games.
Yes.
Damn.
McDonald's game. Found it on eBay, about $48. And all it misses against one of the green marbles. That's it. I can hang with that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's in great condition too. It's in really, really good condition. So
I recently played that again with my nephews. We had a blast, and this year I said we play it inside of McDonald's. Unfortunately, we can't get inside McDonald's right now, but once we can, we'd like to go back. And since September, you're saying that's been your collection?
Yeah.
Since September?
Since September, almost 250.
Jeez,
Yep.
it's better than me. I thought my collection was
I'm telling you.
I was like, Jesus.
I've been busy.
That is
well, I have, like I said in Norm's interview, I have about 3 savers probably within 20 minutes of me. And I hit that a lot. And I hit Goodwill a lot and a lot of estate sales, because there's a lot of estate sales that go on here. And now they're online, which is even better for me because I don't have to fight people. I just I have the email, estatesales.net. They email me every day on what starts tomorrow. And so I go in there and I just email the person, hey, do you have this? And they go, yep. Okay, how much do you want for it? And when can I pick it up? It's been the best thing. That's one of the silver linings of the quarantine, I guess, would be the online estate sales, since they're not doing them personally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And see, Norm, don't you wish you were living in a failing state where they were just closing houses left and right?
Oh yeah, it's all about the board games. Forget about the state.
Yeah.
State can come to the room, but if we have a board game collection, it's all good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Their loss is your gain.
Board game.
All right. So now we're going to talk about best deal we ever got on a board game. I'm going to start with the braggart himself, Bernardo from Tabletop Island, because you've got a lot of good deals. I want to hear what the best deal was. What was it?
So I feel like I mentioned this on my channel a while back. It's definitely going to still be It from the Pit. I'm still pretty proud of it. I think that was the first game I've ever even tried to make a deal on, because initially I was just excited and bought a game like Tornado Rex for full price. I'm still sad. But It from the Pit I got for $30, and it was missing one piece, and I was convincing him that it wasn't worth the I think it was 184 something that he was selling it for. And I was like, it's not worth, it's missing a piece. There was a few other little things. It was missing like this little cap for the button, but I had already had one from a previous deal. So I ended up getting that copy for $30. And then I got another copy basically for about $10. But that one was kind of finicky, doesn't really work that well. So I removed the little button cap, put it on that, and then I had the extra person for it. But that one also really wasn't complete. So I really just have the It for that one in the little tray. But $30 for that was probably my best deal, and that includes shipping. So that was probably the best deal I got.
That's awesome. It from the Pit, I paid $35 for. And this is back before it had kind of exploded on the market. It was years ago. It was one of my first forays into vintage games. And I was pissed I had to pay $35. I was like, this guy will not come down off the price. And because I haggled him. It was at a Comic-Con. I was like, and I told my wife, I said, oh, and I felt bad. I went ahead and bought it. I said, you know what? I shouldn't have bought this. She went, really? I said, no, not for $35, because she got like 7 games and he charged her $35. And then I said, well, I just want this one. He went, $35. I went, oh, come on. He made that up because she paid $35 for 5 or 7 games. And that's stupid. And then I realized, like, later on, I was like, oh, this game's going at the time. It's going for like $80 online. I said, oh, okay, well, then I got a good deal. And yeah, I got a great deal now. Mine doesn't have the eyes, though. It doesn't have the stickers for the eyes, but I find that even scarier. You know,
That's fair. That's fair.
pupilless monster, which I never knew it had eyes because I saw on the box. But, you know, sometimes on the box, it doesn't come that way. And but then I saw someone's review. I was like, oh, yours maybe I saw Norm's. I said, oh, yours has eyes.
What do you do? Just like a Sharpie and draw them on?
You could. I could do that. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Give him little different types of eyes. Maybe put tape over him and just do a Sharpie over it and change his eyes every time. Be kind of cool. But anyway, all right, good deal. Luke, best deal you got on the game?
Well, I got a really good deal very recently. I got this Electronic Mystery Mansion, and I got this, and the only thing that's missing is one cardboard wall. It doesn't affect play at all. I got this for £10.50.
Wow.
Shipped.
Whoa. Nice.
Yeah. So I was really pleased with that one. But the other one that I got as well for a really stupid price was Forbidden Bridge. And I got Forbidden Bridge for £26 complete.
Wow.
Again, another one of these ones where the eBay lister had spelt the word forbidden wrong. So when you put it into the search, it wasn't.
No way.
Yeah.
Got him.
Wow.
Mine.
Gotta love typos.
And then he called up Bernardo. He said, nah, don't get Forbidden Bridge.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that one.
After a while, Bernardo, when you go broke, Luke's going to come to you and say, hey, pal, I'll make you an offer for what you got.
Off in my pocket.
Okay, so Jamie, you've obviously gotten a lot of good deals on games before, and so has Norm as well. This is why I kind of saved y'all. All right, so what's a good deal you found, Jamie?
I actually commented on this on Luke's page. Actually, he had this review, and he was like, "What? You got it for $2? Are you kidding me?" Yes, $2 completely. It's complete. Everything's in there. It was a girl that her uncle had it in his garage, and she was just selling off some games, and I was on Facebook Marketplace. All these games for $2 each, and I saw it there. I'm like, "Oh my god, are you serious?" And so I, what was it? The instant messenger said, "Hey, do you still have this game?" "Yeah, I still have it." And she had Splat also for $2, but unfortunately, she had already sold that already. Why that game is so expensive too, I have no idea. But yeah, Forbidden Bridge, $2 from her, and I couldn't drive down there fast enough to get it from her.
Wow!
Nice.
Yeah.
What a deal!
It's amazing.
I'm now this close to getting a Facebook page now.
Nice. I know.
Maybe this close.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's different by region, so like you might be near gold mine and you don't even know it. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I always click on local. I just click on local, and then all the local things come up, and I hit them up.
I do 100 miles because I'm like, I'll drive if I have to, if it's crazy.
Oh yeah, if it's that good. Oh yeah.
I like Norm's confident smile because he's got one that he can't wait to talk about. So
that is Norm, a look of confidence.
Go ahead, let me know. I think I may know. By the way, but go ahead and tell us.
Well, there's a couple that come to mind immediately. If From the Pit was one of those games I was trying to get, and that's a tough game to get. But I went on Board Game Geek, and there was a guy that I guess had a new copy. I asked him, would you be willing to sell it? I think he was willing to trade it. He said, yeah, I'll sell it to you for $10 plus shipping. And it was a new copy. The only thing was missing was one of the little arms, so I was able to find somebody that had that. So I probably ended up spending maybe $35 on like an It From the Pit game. But probably the absolute best deal I got, and maybe you guys know this game. This is the Avalon Hill version of Acquire. I found this at a thrift store for $4. And here's the back of it, just so you can kind of see what it looks like. This is a very
cool.
fancy version of the game.
Yeah.
When I looked it up, the game at the time was going for about $100.
Wow.
So that was the best deal. That's probably the best deal I've ever found. I mean, I kind of got lucky that day. So
It's still expensive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's a good game.
Wow.
If you like, it's a great game if you like these type of games.
Now you have the 3M version as well, right?
I do. Yeah, I have that too.
That game's the most expensive out of the 3M collect, or one of the most, isn't it?
I think so. I think.
I mean, there's some short printed ones. I know.
Yeah, most of them, I think that the Acquire Bar is probably the most expensive. It's not like super expensive.
Yeah, no, but it's.
I know that
more
they
than
3M has a game they made only maybe 200 copies of. It never got released, and I think it's selling for like $400. I think it's called Jaddy or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Acquire for me.
Nice. Nice. I have a friend who has that, and they keep saying, "You like board games? You need to play this one." I do need to play that. I hear so many good things about it.
Mm-hmm. Have you played it yet?
Say what?
Have you played it yet?
No, I haven't. I need to though. But there's a friend of mine who she plays a few games. She didn't have many games in her collection, but Acquire is one of them because her family played that growing up. And I think it's the 3M copy, if I'm not mistaken, though. If it's that copy, though, I'm going to tell it's worth garbage, but I'll give her $5 for it. Whatever's in my wallet, as Luke said.
Got offer 3, outdo Norm.
Yeah. Okay, well, mine is obviously pretty good. I got this on a trade. A guy asked me for a $30 game I had in my collection. He said, "Would you get rid of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I looked through his collection. I was like, "Would you give me that?" And I was thinking, he's not going to do that. He said, "Sure." I went, "Is it complete?" He went, "Yeah, it's complete." I went, "Send it." And that is the game Ice Cube. This game is going in the hundreds of dollars, like 500, 600.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it is insane prices right now. And to be honest, it's a fun game. It is not worth that much. It is. I mean, let's say it was not a rare game, I could see someone paying, $20, maybe tops, for a fun little game about ice cubes, melting ice cubes. It's definitely worth it. And I think if it was cheap, it should be in everyone's collection. Unfortunately, it's not cheap, and it should be in no one's collection unless you stumble across it like I did and trade it for a $30 game. And I could not believe when it came in, because this is one I've always dreamed about getting, but knew I was never going to pay that much. Never. I'd be pissed if I paid $600 for this game. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But the game is fun. It's a lot of fun. You think melting an ice cube is not that fun? We did nothing but laugh. My nephews absolutely love this game. They want to play this game every time they come over. It is one of the most popular games just because melting someone else's cube, being mean to another player, and melting them is fun. I don't think it'd be fun for the Wicked Witch of the West, but it's definitely fun for me and my nephews. So that's probably the best idea.
It's such a neat idea. It's like Grape Escape, where you're smashing your opponent's pieces, like the Play-Doh pieces. There's just such a sinister glee about doing that.
And the thing is, Milton Bradley could easily remake this in this day and age where it's all about the gimmick.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
It would cost nothing to remake this game, and it's gimmicky, which is what they're all about. They make these little gimmicky games all the time, and it's about ice cubes. All they need is an ice tray with the molded ice cubes, and then do a little board, waterproof board, and there you go. I think the game would still sell today if they remade it, because I would buy a new copy.
I think so.
Even retail $24.99. Yeah, I'd say get it if it's a new updated copy. Go ahead. It's funny because I wish there were people like us working for Milton Bradley and Hasbro and saying, "Hey, you want?" I mean, to be honest, we don't have to have anything overly complicated. Just look at the simple. Look at the simple and have fun with this, because the fun factor is there. It's still there today, and you see that in a lot of other games. This is more appealing than Doggy Doo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an old game.
Yeah.
So what?
I said I think Doggy Doo's an old game too.
Doggy Doo is, well, it used to be around for a while, but it's where you're scooping the poop off the dog or something, and they look like little Cheetos coming off them. I was like, what? Or don't step in the poop and everything. I'm like, why?
Or the toilet bowl game where you push the plunger down, the poop flies out, and they catch it. It's like, come on, really?
I actually love that.
Oh, do you really? Sorry.
I don't have it, but I was like, why would you catch poop?
Yeah, it's so hilarious.
No, you don't. You lose every time you hold poop. I don't know why you make that game, but I like it. I think it's funny. I think it's fun.
It is funny.
Some of those games I would just get just for fun. One of them, like you're blindfold. They put out a mat and you have to step on the poop. Vincent, Insane Board Game Freak, reviewed it. I thought it was funny. But like, what?
Yeah, they got a unicorn theme one too, with unicorn poop, I think, or something like that.
Oh man, crazy stuff. But anyway, that's the best deal I got. So our next one we're going to talk about is an IP, intellectual property that either never had a board game or had one, but you wish they made a better one of it. What game? It could be an old TV show, could be an old movie, it could be new toots, whatever you want. But I just thought, what's an IP? That was the third question I wanted to ask today. And I'm going to talk to, we got to start with Mr. Movie Man, right?
Oh boy,
Jamie from the Board Game Man on this question. He's got to do this one. So Jamie, go ahead. Okay.
I had to pick my brain on this one. And back in the day, I was a huge fan of this movie. Back in 1982, had a sequel in 2010. Tron. I would love to see some kind of, I know they had the video game and they had the Atari 2600 game, the Tron Deadly Discs, which I loved. I don't know. I'd love to see, I don't know, some kind of a board game where you do either the light cycles or you could do a disc fight or something like that. I think I would love to see something with Tron. I was just a big fan of Tron growing up.
Did they ever make a board game about Tron?
I can't find anything on a board game on Tron. Dice game, card game, nothing.
That's interesting.
There's a game a little bit like Light Cycles called Laser Riders, and it's got this really cool box for it where each play piece, all the play pieces are set in like VCR boxes in like a box set, cardboard box set for VCRs. And yeah, you've got like these different pieces of track, and you sort of race around and you're trying to score points, but your trail carries on behind you. So you're trying to
just like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Trailblazer, basically.
A ripoff of Tron.
Tron the ripoff. That's what it's called.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I never realized they never made a Tron board game. I thought for sure back then, but yeah, I guess not. That's interesting. That's a good choice.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Norm, what IP do you wish they'd have made a board game over, or a better board game?
I don't know if this counts as intellectual property, but I'm going to go ahead and say Walmart or somebody needs to make a Walmart Black Friday game.
Oh, God.
One of the thoughts is you play as the television and everybody else plays as the shopper, and the TV has to escape the store or something like that. But there's a lot of ways you could go about it because, Black Friday is always brutal. And Walmart, of course, is always in the news in America. Whenever there's a Black Friday, there's going to be videos of the craziness and stories of all this kind of stuff. So I don't know if that counts as intellectual property, but I'll just go ahead and
say that sounds unique.
Great idea.
There's there is a game of waiting in line for a store open to get a product. It's called Koljika or whatever. It's from Poland. And it's based off the 1980s Poland when goods were very rare, hard to come by, and people waited in line and fought over the one item that came in the store at that time. And I like it for the historical factor. I never played it before, but a game about waiting in line.
Okay.
That comes in all shapes and fashions for it. It sounds so intriguing to me, but that's what I would imagine. It would be a game where you're trying to fight. The first half of the game, you're fighting to get up in line. Either by pushing people out of the way, distracting people and stepping ahead of them. You're playing cards on each other to get in front of the line, and then the store opens, and then it's just one of those dice, time dice things. You keep rolling and trying to do this, throwing an elbow, taking an item. You got to drop this item and take this item. You're trying to get the best deals. You've got some doorbusters on your list you can go through. I love that idea, Norm.
Sounds like a Cabbage Patch Doll game. That's what it sounds like.
I gotta find a Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah.
Going around. I need the big screen TV, a hot toy, whatever else is on super sale right now. I need a blender. Where's a $5 blender? Hurry, run.
Exactly.
That's a really good idea, Norm. I like that.
Yeah, there's always going to be people with pepper spray, and then there's always going to be fights and stuff like that. So I'm sure we could incorporate all that in there.
And you could lose some of your items in a fight with another player. Another player
There you
could challenge you to an aisle fight on aisle 7 brawl.
Yeah, then the guy who gets the higher number wins the fight. Yeah.
You can do it. My wife did that. My wife was the master Black Friday shopper, and one day she convinced the Walmart guy to give her the TV before they went on sale. She convinced him that, and then went and waited in another line and got both of the. She got the TV and some other. She got both of the big doorbusters. No way you're gonna get both. They're gonna be these two are gonna be the top ones to sell out. And she got them both because she convinced the guy to go ahead and give her it. And I don't know what she told him, but she said, hey, look, I need this because I'm gonna wait in line. This is all I'm getting. And so if for some reason he gave her one, she just jumped into the next line and got them both. It was amazing. So she's really good at it. She and her sister used to have this thing where one would wait at the checkout counter while the other one would shop. So while she's waiting in the line and going through the big long checkout line, the other one's getting everything they need. And then they meet it together, and then they go through the line. They're done. They can go to the next place. I mean, like a general getting ready for war. She had the newspapers spread out all over the table and was pointing out where they're going to go, what time they're going to do, what they're going to do this, when they're going to do this. I mean, it was a big deal back in the day. She didn't do it anymore, but it was a big deal back in the day for her, and she was pretty good at it.
Had the blueprints, laid it out. We're going.
No kidding.
It was like Ocean's 11, man. I mean, had the whole scheme ready to go. It was insane. Okay, so my intellectual property. This came to me last night. I just recently made a trade, but I was looking over the trade, and there was a game I saw that they had. And it was the new Highlander game. I was like, oh yeah. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh no. This game does not look that interesting. And it's sad because I remember when it came on Kickstarter, I was like, oh, do I want to back Highlander because I love Highlander? And no, I did not want to back that game. It just seemed kind of generic, not really good enough. And I wish you could have something. And I like the TV version. In fact, I'm actually reading the TV novels of this happened in between episodes or seasons or stuff. And I'm now reading through those. So kind of on a Highlander kick right now. But I started thinking, man, I wish they made a Highlander. I know they made a collectible card game, and then they made this board game that was based off the movie. But isn't that good? You had to play 4 characters. One of them's Ramirez, but Sean Connery did not allow the rights to his image in that movie.
Oh wow!
So they had to get some young, he looks like he works at a new age. He's a hippie working at a coffee shop. He's got the man bun, and it's a younger. He has head turn. It doesn't even look like Ramirez. I was like, it's probably one of the guys who was working on the game. He's like, here, I'll put my hair up in a man bun and just. And it was really dumb. I was like, that's not Ramirez in any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, man.
And then the fourth guy was the, I can't remember his name, Bakuri or whatever, the black guy in the movie who we only see like once. Yeah, he's the fourth player because there are no 4, in the movie, there weren't 4 main characters. You can beat Kurgan, Highlander, Ramirez, and let's see. That black guy. What was his name? They just put him in there just so they have 4 players. Like, you could have done the TV show and had Duncan and had Mythos and had Amanda and you would have had tons of other characters play, but for some reason they didn't want to go with the TV show. And you still could have Connor and Kurgan and everything because they were included. But I don't know. It just could have been done a lot better, I thought. So I would like to see a better Highlander game because, hey, I mean, it's an intellectual property that I probably not popular anymore, but I really enjoy it. Okay, so Bernardo, what is your pick?
So to try to avoid a repeat from the last kind of question here, I was really thinking on what intellectual property do I think needs a game? While it probably won't be the one that I would, be most after. Basically, it's Harry Potter. So I've noticed that for as popular of a series as that was, there aren't really any good Harry Potter games. And I know there's probably a lot of companies, if any are watching this, they're like, wow, wait, forget this guy. I saw there's like the Funko Pop one. I do own that. It is fun. I enjoy with the capture the flag mechanism, but I feel like something that actually goes with the theme of the movies or books, however they approach it. I think something like how they did Edge of the Earth. I butchered the name. The Lord of the Rings board game. How they took the Mansions of Madness idea of having it tile placement, and then the app can kind of configure different things with it too. I think something like that for Harry Potter would probably work because there's a lot of story to work with. I think that would make it really interesting. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No. Like a Descent version, like a quest adventure thing.
There you
That's
go.
interesting. That's a neat idea. A dungeon crawl Harry Potter book. You could do that actually. It's not a bad idea. That's a wild one to pick because that's a very popular IP, but I don't play any of those games either. So yeah, they could all be garbage. And by the way, I didn't say that. Bernardo said that. So everyone who loves Harry Potter, I need you to go on Tabletop Island and just thumbs down him and just.
No, I like Harry Potter. It's just the games aren't really that good. I'm literally going to get a bunch of comments that say, "Have you played Monopoly, Harry Potter?"
Yeah.
Well, that won't be good.
Or the new Labyrinth, Harry Potter?
Why do you hate me?
Luke, spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so Luke, what is an IP? Because here's the thing. Of course, Luke's from England, and he may know of a different. I mean, I don't know. He may have an answer we all know, or a show, or a movie we don't know of. This is why I'm interested to hear what his pick is.
You guys ever hear of that cartoon Dungeons and Dragons? Why didn't they make a show out of that, like a game, Dungeons and Dragons?
From the cartoon?
No, I'm only messing. I think Futurama needs a decent board game. Like Futurama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there's only been Futurama Monopoly, and Futurama Monopoly, well, it's just Monopoly, where you've got Planet Express ship or Bender as your piece, and it's just the exact same game. But that show built such a big universe, and it had its own rules and planets and creatures and everything. There has to be a game in there somewhere, you know. The other one I was thinking of, and I don't know if you guys had this show over there. There was this really awesome show called Life on Mars.
Oh yeah, great show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm biased because it's filmed around where I live, so.
Wow.
But yeah, the basic premise is a modern day detective police officer. He gets hit by a car and wakes up and he's in 1973, and he doesn't know why he's there. He doesn't know whether it's in his head or a coma or something, but he's having to adjust to working as a police officer like 40, 50 years ago, and it's like him battling against like their way of doing things. Like it's all a little bit more hands-on. There's no technology. It's a lot more police brutality and all. And I think like the idea itself is such a neat idea for a game. Like you'd have cards that you could play against like modern day stuff against old day knowledge. And yeah, I kind of like the idea of like a time travel based board game where you're solving crimes. It seems like a good idea to me.
You know, my mom and dad loved Life on Mars, and they were it canceled after the first season, right?
Yeah, for us it did. For the UK, I think it has like 3 seasons.
We had 2 seasons of Life on Mars, and then they followed it up with another series called Ashes to Ashes, which was set in 1983 in London, which is awesome. It's just absolutely awesome.
Oh wow! So I didn't know there was a UK version of the TV show.
Oh, it came first.
That's where it started. Actually,
I'm sure it did. We rip off everything, but yeah,
that worked.
I'll have to tell Dad about that because they loved it. Came in America, and Dad loved the premise. Same premise. He woke up in 1973, and Dad loved it. And then they got rid of it. I was like, "What? It was a great show!" But it didn't get any traction here. My dad absolutely loved that, and he was just mad because now there's no ending to it. So yeah,
ending with the UK one, like a really good ending as well.
I'll have to let him know about that because that was one of his favorite shows when it came out, the first season, and then it just got discontinued. So I don't know if you knew that. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice. Good choices all around there, folks.
Cool.
All right, so there you have it. There's our questions. Hey, give us your answers at home if you're watching this. What was the best deal you paid for a board game? What was the most you've ever paid for a vintage board game? And what IP do you wish they'd make a board game on or a better board game? And how much do you hate Bernardo's statement that he hates Harry Potter? Let me know that one.
Harry Potter.
Oh boy.
twisting words around. Folks, you definitely want to check out everyone's channel. They're coming out with great stuff every day. Jamie, you just had a board game review. Can you tell us what's coming up on your channel?
Well, pretty much I don't really schedule ahead of time. I just kind of come in one day and I'm like, you know what, I feel like doing one. I look at my collection. I'm going to do that one today. I'll probably do a couple more Life on Scenes or Jamie on Scene.
Okay.
I probably want to do the Brady Bunch house. I know that's in Pasadena. I haven't hit that one yet.
Shut up.
Doesn't even look remotely close to what it looks like now. But a lot of these houses are in Pasadena. I mean, the Father of the Bride house, I think they filmed some of the movie in Pasadena, so I want to hit that one as well. So since not much else to do, so I might as well drive out and
there you go.
Some Hollywood houses. Yeah, exactly. So
there you go. There you go. That's funny.
fun.
Norm just spins a wheel and just chooses a board game, and then he gets like 5,000 views. I mean, it's insane. Norm, what's coming up on your channel next?
Well, I'm working on reviewing Fortress America. I'm kind of doing that in bits and pieces. So
That's right. You told me that. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that one like bits and pieces. And that's probably the main project I've got coming up. But just whatever comes up, I'll just probably do. I like to do a game called Penguin Shuffle. It's like a kid's game my wife really likes, but it has these penguins that wobble like down this little chute. And I don't know how it does it because it doesn't have like a little spinner that activates it or a battery. It just manages to do it on its own. I don't know how it does it, but I'll probably review that one soon too.
You've piqued Luke's curiosity. He's Mr. Mechanic there. Luke, what's coming up on your channel? You recently unearthed some more ball bearing games. Are we going to see some more ball bearing?
Yes, I've got some more ball bearing games that I've started writing reviews for. I've filmed 3 reviews. I just need to get them into the edit. So it's been a bit crazy. Like I'm living in a house full of people. It's difficult to film when everyone's on lockdown. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you people need to go get some sunshine for like an hour and a half?
Exactly.
Folks, I've got videos to make.
I know.
All right, Bernardo, what about you? What's coming up on Tabletop Island? And is it going to come out today, or is it going to come out today at midnight?
Yeah. No, well, I had an excuse last time, but I won't get into that. But today I'm releasing a Downforce review, which I've been kind of pushing back for a while. I was kind of scared to review it because I didn't know how I wanted to approach the commercial for it. But I'm releasing that today, and on Friday, I'm looking at Alfredo's Food Fight. If you haven't seen it, you can look it up now. It's a cool one. It's a cool one.
Oh, that is neat. Okay, well, yeah, I've got some stuff coming up, and I'm trying to look it up now, and I can't find it. I was going to announce what came out today. Oh, Prince of the Universe. So tomorrow, let's see if I can find it. I'll go ahead and just reveal what it is. We're going to go over. We're going to do it's vintage games, folks. Vintage game week.
What do you know? Right up our alley.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be nice. Well, I don't have that many vintage games now to review. I did a whole month of vintage games, but I did get a few extra. So vintage games are coming out this week, and then the rest of my board games are left. I mean, I did make this trade, so I do have some more coming in. Sweet. I just don't have any board games coming in right now, and so I'm thinking, oh, what have I got for June? Nothing right now. Even if this trade comes in, I probably have enough for like 2-3 weeks of videos, maybe. I'm just because everything's just come to a stop right now. I'm just waiting on Kickstarters are come to a grinding halt, and so has my pre-order from Miniature Market because Amos Day is not shipping right now. So, and unfortunately, I got one of their games, so it's holding up the entire shipment. But anyway, so when that comes through, when this stops, we'll be ready to roll again. So, but look out, we'll have vintage games going on. So, by the way, check out everyone's channel. They're really great. Obviously, they all are more talented than me. Even Norm.
I'm not there yet.
You're there. You're there. I was looking. You have this cool intro, and I was like, "How do y'all do this? You just Norm's always. I love Norm's little.
I do too. The little vintage game thing comes out. I love that. That is so cool.
Oh wait, Norm's still here. It's okay. I was getting too many compliments there, but no, I
do love his intro.
But when I first saw Norm's channel, he had that intro. I was like, "How do you do that? That looks great. I love that." Jamie comes out with his intro. I was like, everyone has a cool intro but me. And then Luke's rubbing it in my face by saying, "Hey, Matt, look, I redesigned my whole intro. And I'm doing this now." I can't do any of that, Luke. I mean, it's like if we were civilizations, Luke would be living in the space age next to the cavemen. We'd be trying to copy him, see how that wheel works. Rolling stuff on a stick. So, yeah. Bernardo, I love yours too, man. I love the VHS thing.
VHS tape. I love that too. Exactly. Pushes it off.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone's cool. I mean,
although we saw your Star Wars one, Matt. That one's good. You're selling yourself short there. I've watched it.
That was my one claim to. I didn't even do that one. Someone else filmed it for me. That was a trade-off for an acting gig I did for them for free. But Luke has that new Death Star run from Board Games, which I am just enthralled.
Oh, it took so long to do.
It took so long, but it pays off in such a big way. It is so cool. So cool. Everyone has cool intros here, but me. Boring. But I was looking at some of my old intros. I need to do my old intros again, where I was just like, we have like a 5-second music, and then me go into the game with my handheld camera everywhere. Shaky cam. All right. Well, that's it, folks. Everyone have a fun day. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay playing vintage games. And we will all talk